The final item of business today is a member's business debate on motion number 8611 in the name of David Torrance on congratulations to Fife Gingerbread. This debate will be concluded without any questions being put, and I'd invite those members who wish to speak in the debate to please press the request to speak buttons now or as soon as possible. I now call on David Torrance to open the debate. Mr Torrance, 7 minutes or thereby, please.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I'd also like to welcome to Parliament today Debbie Duncan, Teen Parent Project Worker Kirkcaldy, Catherine Miller of Fife Gingerbread and Suzanne Fraser-Kerr of Barnardo's. As many of you here may be aware, my constituency has one of the highest teenage pregnancy rates in Europe. Therefore, I am keen to raise awareness of the issue and to highlight the excellent work carried out by Fife Gingerbread through initiatives such as their Teen Parent Project, which provides support to young lone parents and helps them to cope with many of the problems they face on a daily basis. Evidence shows that young teenage mothers are less likely to complete their education or to seek further education opportunities. Teenage mothers are less likely to be employed or more likely to be in receipt of some form of income-based benefits or employed in low-paid jobs. Consequently, poverty is a major factor in teenage parenting. Indeed, statistically, data collected demonstrates that there is a relationship between deprivation and teenage pregnancy. It indicates that young women under the age of 16 who live in Scotland's most deprived areas are more likely to experience teenage pregnancy than those who live in the more affluent areas. According to the 2012 SIMD Index, the most educational deprived data zone in Fife is to be found in the intermediate zone of Kirkcaldy, comprising of areas of Hayfield and Smeaton. It is ranked 27th, which places it amongst the top 5% of the most educationally deprived areas in Scotland. Also, according to this index, the most health-deprived zone in Fife is in the intermediate zone of Meffel East. Both of these zones lie within my constituency. It is clear, therefore, that although other factors must be taken into consideration when looking at teenage pregnancies, deprivation plays a significant role, and this often brings with it low self-esteem. Fife Gingerbread has to be congratulated on its coordinated initiatives which try to address the issues faced by teenage mothers. Fife Gingerbread's Teen Parent Project provides support to teenage parents on a one-to-one basis in conjunction with group work and peer support. The project was originally developed in response to specific issues facing young parents in the Levenmouth area. Following on from the success of the initial pilot in Levenmouth, the project was launched in Kirkcaldy in partnership with the YMCA and supported by NHS Fife and other groups from the voluntary sector. Operationally, a dedicated teen parent liaison worker works in partnership with health and educational agencies and wider voluntary and statutory partners. The aims being to support teenage parents in establishing good parenting skills, developing support networks, promoting and engaging with other services. Partnership working includes Mellow Babies, which runs in partnership with Barnardo's, Mellow Bumps, which works in partnership with James and Harriet from Mellow Parenting, and the project introduced specifically for young fathers working in partnership with the Cottage Family Centre. The first Mellow Bumps programme started in October 2013, with referrals from the Family Health, Midwifery Team, Family Nurse Partnership and health visitors. The Mellow Parenting programmes are in line with the Scottish Government objectives. Figures from the Teen Parent Project's Progress Report of February 2013 show that 264 young mothers have been supported in Levenmouth and Kirkcaldy areas. 52 young fathers have been supported, and 292 children have benefited in the Levenmouth and Kirkcaldy areas. Many of these clients were also referred to one or more additional services, such as Barnardo's, the Cottage Family Centre, Home Start and the Jobs Centre. Statistics based on the evaluation of the Kirkcaldy Teen Parent Project using the Rosenberg Self-Esteem Scale evidenced an increase in self-esteem of teen mothers. An evaluation of the Kirkcaldy and Levenmouth Teen Parent Project using the Warwick-Edinburgh Wellbeing Scale also evidenced an increase in the mental health and well-being of teen mothers. Further, an evaluation of the Kirkcaldy Teen Parent Project using the tool of measuring parent self-efficiency evidenced an increase in the parenting skills and the confidence of teen mothers. The excellent work carried out in the Kirkcaldy area was recognised in the UK's biggest parenting competition. The Kirkcaldy Teen Parent Project was named as one of the best in the east of Scotland. The Linktown Young Parent Group, based in an area of Kirkcaldy I know very well, having served as a local councillor there for many years, was presented with a winner's certificate and a gold listing at the Net Mums Awards. Local mums and dads praised the Kirkcaldy Teen Project, calling it the highlight of our week. Parents stated that what made the group special to them was a caring staff, a great range of activities offered for the kids, and the fact that it put a smile on the face of everyone who attends. I have been privileged to witness firsthand some of the work carried out by Fife Gingerbread and the Teen Parent projects. I remember attending a Fife Gingerbread AGM at which single parents were highlighting the difficulties facing them on a daily basis. One speaker who was nervous on that day is now a project worker for Kirkcaldy Teen Parent project and is in the gallery this evening. Recently, I was also invited to a Halloween party, where I was in my element, being able to participate in activities, including a sing-along at the end, which I thoroughly enjoyed, although I'm not sure that everyone else enjoyed my singing. Overall, though, parents and the children alike had a fabulous time. It was a delight to see how energetic and enthusiastic Debbie was in organising and participating in all the afternoon's activities. Just before Christmas, while doing some last-minute shopping at Asda, I bumped into Debbie, who was shopping but not for herself. What was Debbie looking for? Vegetables to enable her to make some homemade soup for her group in Linktown area, many of whom were going without in order to get presents for her children. Debbie was making sure that we would have something to eat on the day. This is just a small example of the commitment and dedication that Debbie and the Fife Gingerbread staff give to her projects and show their willingness to go that extra mile to provide the best possible services to parents and their children. Going forward, the Teen Parent project aims to deliver programmes which provide specific support while simultaneously raising awarenesses of issues such as welfare reform. The impact of recent welfare reforms has presented challenges to many vulnerable sectors of society, but parents none more so than to single parents. Single parents who now find themselves with even greater stress and worry as they are mandatorily transitioned from one benefit to another and getting increasingly more anxious and concerned about how this will impact on their day-to-day living and providing for their children. Currently, Fife Gingerbread is delivering an initiative entitled Pimp My Purse. I just love that title, as it makes me smile every time I read it. This involves holding workshops in partnership with Citizens Advice and Rights Fife and credit unions. The Kirkcaldy project has recently been recognised for its achievements thus far and has received a substantial grant from the Big Lottery Young Start initiative, which will enable Kirkcaldy Teen Parent project to continue to deliver high-value services in the area. Presiding Officer, in conclusion, I would say that Rona and all her staff at Fife Gingerbread are delivering a service in my constituency which is greatly needed. It is tailored and delivered to the needs of teenage parents with an enthusiasm and passion which has had a positive and invaluable impact on all those taking part. I wish Fife Gingerbread and their Teen Parent project every success in the future. I know it will continue to make a huge difference in some of the most deprived areas of my constituency, and I sincerely hope these initiatives will be able to continue helping to support young teenage mums for many years to come.
Many thanks. I now call on Mary Fee to be followed by Annabel Ewing. 4 minutes or thereby, please.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. First of all, can I start by thanking David Torrance for bringing this debate to the Chamber today. And one of the reasons behind my support for the members' debate comes from an event last January, where I spoke in a research project between Fife Gingerbread and the Poverty Alliance. The resulting report, Surviving Poverty, the Impact of Lone Parenthood, demonstrated the important work that needs to be carried out in order to fully support single parents in Fife and across Scotland. The study showed the experience of lone parenthood in rural areas, and in many cases, being a single parent can be a very isolating experience, especially in rural areas. The report highlighted how lone parents in Fife sometimes survived. Some would skip meals to feed their children. Some would reduce their usage of gas and electricity, meaning homes would be cold, and some would miss payments or turn to payday lenders. The awarding of almost £50,000 to Fife Gingerbread is fully deserved and will help many teenage parents in the area. Teenage parents often experience circumstances and challenges that most intending to become parents would not dare to dream about. It's widely recognised that many factors play a part in teenage pregnancy, such as alcohol, education and health inequalities. However, it must be made clear that just because someone is a teenage parent, that alone does not make them a bad parent. The Health and Sport Committee undertook an inquiry into this subject area last year, and the subsequent report makes for some interesting, if not unsurprising, reading. Education can play a major part in reducing teenage pregnancies, not only in relation to sexual health, but education on alcohol, drug abuse and taking risks. However, services can only reach these young people when they attend school, and evidence shows that this is often not the case. Alternative sources of education and support are to be encouraged and welcomed, such as Fife Gingerbread's project. The role of modern media can and must play a better role in portraying women. On the subject of drinking and taking drugs, Robert Naylor from Renfrewshire Council rightly pointed to the modern media and the often poor depiction of women and how some behave in relation to taking such risks and substances. There are fewer and fewer appropriate role models on television these days for young women, which demonstrate self-respect or self-esteem. Many depictions of young women show an alarming lack of both. The sexualisation of television, film and music can also be attributed with the same argument. The Teen Parent Project rightly seeks to identify, understand and support the needs of teenage parents, and the big lottery funding will go a long way to meet any challenges ahead for the parents they help. Thank you.
Many thanks. I now call on Annabel Ewing to be followed by Liz Smith.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. And I too would like to start by congratulating my colleague David Torrance on securing this debate this evening. And I welcome his guests to the gallery, and I also appreciate having the opportunity not just to congratulate Fife Gingerbread on their success, but also to highlight here in the Chamber some of the really important work that this excellent organisation does. And as a member representing Fife and also a member of this Parliament's Welfare Reform Committee, I am well aware both of the work that the Fife Gingerbread does and the increasing need which we have for their services, and indeed the services of other voluntary organisations in dealing in particular with the UK Government's welfare cuts and the misery that those cuts involve for some of the most vulnerable members of our society. But it's just, I think, less than a year since we participated in a debate in the Chamber, again secured by David Torrance, congratulating Fife Gingerbread on their 25th anniversary. So both Mr Torrance and Fife Gingerbread are doing very well indeed. And I have to say that I'm very, very sorry that I have missed David Torrance's singing prowess at the recent Halloween party, and I'm looking forward to this year's Halloween party to have the opportunity at first hand to get involved in that. And perhaps a duet beckons, I could say to my colleague, or maybe not. But as we have heard, Fife Gingerbread is an excellent voluntary organisation that works with lone parent families throughout Fife to provide practical help. And that's, I think, one of the key elements. It's practical help and support and information. And it's good to see that they're not resting on their laurels, having received last year their 25th anniversary, but indeed are forging ahead to pursue new avenues for funding and to develop new projects. And the Big Lottery Young Start funding stream provides grants from, I believe, £10,000 to £50,000 for projects to create opportunities for children and young people. So in securing the sum of £48,700, I believe, Fife Gingerbread in their application has done exceptionally well, and I think all credit is due to them because, of course, funding applications are not easy to manage and involve an awful lot of time of workers and volunteers alike to get the application right. So very well done in that respect. And the work that Fife Gingerbread are doing, Presiding Officer, through the Teen Parent Project in Kirkcaldy, as has already been referred to by David Torrance, has indeed achieved high praise, being named in the summer as one of the best in the east of Scotland in the UK's biggest parenting competition run by the netmums.com internet site. And as a taste of the sort of thing the project does, they organised a Get Cooking event where the young mums were taught to create tasty and healthy meals and to improvise with their ingredients whilst being able to stick to a low budget. The mums were able to relax and enjoy that experience, safe in the knowledge that the children had fun in the creche that was provided by Fife Childcare Strategy. Local mums, dads and child carers have praised Kirkcaldy Teen Parent Project, calling it, quotes, the highlight of our week. Parents also have told how the group was special to them for, and I quote, its caring staff, great range of activities for kids and for putting a smile on the face of everyone who attends. And what an accolade and what a real compliment to all those involved in the hard work in providing this service. So it is great that this project has secured the funding, not only to see its work continue for another year, but also to expand and develop that service. And in conclusion, Presiding Officer, I would like once again to congratulate everyone involved in Fife Gingerbread, whether as a worker, a volunteer, a fundraiser, or indeed a service user, for their success with the Teen Parent Project and the other great work that they do. And I look forward to watching them go from strength to strength, delivering support to single parents throughout Fife. Thank you, Presiding Officer.
And thank you. Now Colin Liz Smith, to be followed by Roderick Campbell.
Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer. Annabel Ewing has just reminded us that it is just under a year since we were in this chamber celebrating the 25th anniversary, and as she rightly says, that speaks volumes for David Torrance in bringing forward this motion again, but also in terms of the work that they have achieved, and particularly in that intervening time when Fife Gingerbread has been successful in securing this new grant from the Big Lottery Young Start initiative to develop further the Teen Parent Project in Kirkcaldy. As everyone knows from the all too stark statistics, Scotland continues to face up to the fact that it does have a higher rate of teenage pregnancy than many other Western European countries. And whilst the Scotland-wide teenage pregnancy rate amongst the under-20s group has shown some kind of decline, that's very welcome, but within the under-16 age group there is still a very concerning increase. It is therefore a very positive step forward to see the very specific work being undertaken to look at that very carefully directed support that can be provided to the most vulnerable mothers and the interventions that can take place to support our youngest families. The Teen Parent Project, as David Torrance has set out, has shown that very positive value from the pilot days in Leavenmouth in 2009, right up to the launch of the much more sizable project in Kirkcaldy with the partnership with the YWCA. I note from the updated briefing document that we were provided with that somewhere in the region of 340 parents have received support through the one-to-one work, with targeted work focusing on increasing access to other services, as well as on the development of parental skills, their confidence and their self-esteem. And I think Fife Gingerbread estimate that the project has had a very positive impact on well over 300 children. The project outcomes are to be very warmly welcomed, and it's good to see that as a result of the projects, 96% of the referrals resulted in the family accessing further support for children, as well as the focus on helping to improve the levels of physical, intellectual, emotional and social development in children. I think early intervention is something that we have been discussing at very great length in this place. Indeed, the deliberations of this morning's Education Committee was evidence of the extensive focus on these issues. And while we might come from slightly different angles on some of the issues, I think there is general agreement around the Chamber about just how important that focus has to be. And that's another reason why I would like to add my congratulations to Fife Gingerbread. The family nurse visit, they obviously are very important for expectant mothers, that these visits are very regular, and I think they have a great deal to not only contribute to the child's development and care, but also to a lot of the preventative measures that we expect, and also to helping with the development of parenting skills and of course with better diet, education and employment in later years. That programme aims to enable young first-time mothers to develop their confidence in all these facilities, particularly on the parenting angle. And again, I think while we do have slight differences of opinion across the Chamber, I think everybody accepts that this is something where there is general cross-party agreement on just the importance of that. It is the issue of accessing of young mothers, often children themselves, to the services which I know that Fife Gingerbread, I think, have become rather specialist in their facility that they provide, and that is something from which I think an awful lot of the other groups around the country can gain not only the confidence to do something similar, but I think they can see the real and lasting benefits that you have managed to achieve. So I hope that in closing, the Minister I'm sure will be very sympathetic to this cause and able to outline just some of the things that the Scottish Government has taken on board from the recent report as to how we can push that forward. But in closing, may I also add my very strong congratulations to the group and to David Torrance.
Many thanks. Now Colin Roderick Campbell to be followed by Claire Baker.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I too congratulate David Torrance for bringing this debate to the Chamber today and highlighting the continuing work of Fife Gingerbread, who work so hard to provide invaluable support to lone parents across Fife. I'd like to also welcome representatives of Fife Gingerbread to the gallery and also to thank Big Lottery for their contribution to this little matter. Fife Gingerbread, of course, provides accessible, approachable and non-judgmental support, advice and information to lone parents with children of all ages, from all backgrounds and all walks of life. So although there are times when individuals feel that they're alone and that no one else can understand the situation, Fife Gingerbread is there for them. It's a vital organisation for lone parents in Fife, and the level of support that they offer could not be achieved without the hard work of both their staff and volunteers. Fife Gingerbread has long been known for its work with lone parents, but they also recognise that some of the difficulties faced by teenage parents are unique, and that being a young parent is very different from becoming a parent in your 20s or 30s. Their Teen Parent project offers support for young parents from 16 to 19, whether they are male or female, in relationships or in single, and they can access support from the project. The project can also be accessed by young pregnant women between the ages of 16 and 19. The Big Lottery grant will help Fife Gingerbread with this project in Central Fife, which will hopefully build on the excellent work already undertaken in Leavenmouth, Kirkcaldy and Glenrothes, and in filling a gap in support that is often created when young parents leave school. It's fantastic, as Liz Smith has said, that Fife Gingerbread has been able to help to date 341 parents through both one-to-one and group work. This positive work, which focuses on increasing access to other services, as well as developing skills, has also benefited ultimately 316 children to date. It operates by working with other organisations within the community to ensure support is given to teenage parents in establishing good parenting skills, developing group and peer support networks, and promoting engagement with other services. Link workers help the young parent with one-to-one support and home visits. They help with advocacy and representation, assistance with antenatal and postnatal care, and in promoting health services for both parent and child, signposting where relevant support agencies, and assisting with issues such as debt, housing and counselling relationships, parenting and play, group work, and in creating peer support, and in also, very importantly, in confidence building and skills improvement. It's a very big gender indeed. It's clear, particularly from Katie's case study in the briefing provided by Fife Gingerbread, that the support from the project is invaluable to those who use it. Katie had at first been referred to the project by her midwife and went from being a young woman who had been taken advantage of by others in the past to a young mother who was able to stand up for both herself and her son. The Teen Parent Project aims are to ensure that a positive difference is made in the life of young parents and their children, and by ensuring that young parents are engaged with other services which will benefit their own and their children's health and well-being, as well as improving their levels of physical, intellectual, emotional and social development. The project has already helped young parents increase their confidence and self-esteem, as well as parenting skills and self-advocacy. Like others, I wish Fife Gingerbread the very best for the future, and I commend its staff and volunteers for all their hard work. I hope this debate helps to raise the profile of its work and helps young parents further. I thank David Torrance once again for bringing to the Chamber this debate on a topic that affects many families throughout Scotland. Thank you, Presiding Officer.
And thank you. I now call on Claire Baker, after which we'll move to the closing speech from the Minister. Claire.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I'm pleased to be speaking in this evening's debate on Fife Gingerbread's Teen Parent project based in Kirkcaldy, and I welcome the guests to the gallery, as well as thank David Torrance for securing the time this evening to have this debate. Fife Gingerbread is a great organisation who run a number of projects and services for families across Fife. Established as an association for one-parent families, they've been working in Fife since 1987, and during that time they have gone from strength to strength. They are such a positive, down-to-earth group of people and who are working for the organisation, and they always make you feel so welcome if you visit any of their projects. They coordinate a number of projects, Dad's Rock, the new Pimp My Purse that David Torrance is very keen on, and they are key partners in the Leavenmouth Gateway project, the official launch of which I was delighted to attend last year. And Fife does have a good record of positive partnership working, and you will also often find Fife Gingerbread at the heart of this. This evening's focus is on their excellent teen parent project that is running in Kirkcaldy, and I'd like to congratulate them on securing the almost £50,000 from the Big Lottery Young Start initiative. This money will support the project for a further year, and it is a credit to their hard work and dedication and the positive results that they are getting from that work that this money has been awarded. Before becoming an MSP, I worked for SCVO, and I know from the experience of their members how much work and time has to go into funding applications and the level of detail that is often required. And while this one-year funding is very welcome, it won't be long until the Teen Project have to start preparing for where the money for next year is going to come from. We need to make sure that funding for the voluntary sector supports the sustainability of projects and that the maximum amount of an organisation's time can be spent on delivery and not just about securing their financial future. However, this support does provide stability for another year, and that is very much to be welcomed. We know that Scotland has one of the highest teen pregnancy rates in Western Europe, and that Fife has rates that are higher than the rest of Scotland. As Mary Fee and others have described, the reasons for teenage pregnancy are complex and they are often unique for each individual. Appropriate sexual health education and access to services are important for every generation, not just teenagers, but depending on where they live or which school they go to, these services can be variable for many young people. I took part in a schools panel debate in Kirkcaldy last year, and the teenagers who were in that hall were very positive about the new services being offered in their schools. It is important that young people have choices and that the decisions they make can be informed decisions. We shouldn't ignore that for some young couples, it is a positive decision to start a family young, but just like any other age group starting a family, they should have access to appropriate support and advice when needed. Being a teen parent can be challenging. Young parents may be facing changes in their relationship, in their finances. There is the possibility of disruption to their education, whether that is school, college or university. They may be having to review their accommodation options. And the younger you are, the more likely you are to have fewer available resources, and so there are additional financial pressures that anybody experiences in starting a family. Of course, having a new baby is a wonderful thing, and teen parents should be supported to be able to enjoy that experience and give the baby a good start in life. The Teen Parent Project provides good advice and support to young parents on a whole range of issues, recently supporting the Open Me campaign on the importance of opening intimidating-looking mail. The Teen Parent Project provides a positive, welcoming, inclusive forum to provide this support. Before the debate, I was looking at Fife Gingerbread's submission to the Health and Sports Committee inquiry into teenage pregnancy, and their comments on the project really sum up why it is so valuable and deserving of support. The young mums said that they would only go to groups that were appropriate for their age and were designed for their age group, and they said that the groups are the best, just being able to get out of the house and away from your partner, seeing other young parents and getting to talk to them and let the children play. I wish to give the project all the best wishes for the future, and I'm pleased to be able to recognise their good work this evening.
Many thanks. I now ask Minister Aileen Campbell to close the debate on behalf of the Government. 7 minutes or thereby, please, Minister.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. And I want to start also by wishing everyone a happy New Year. It's the first debate that I've been part of in this new year in the Parliament. And I want to thank also David Torrance for bringing this debate to the Chamber, and congratulate him for doing so, and also remembering what Liz Smith said about the celebration debate that you brought up, which welcomed the 25 years of Fife Gingerbread. I also want to thank the members who have showed their support for this excellent organisation. I had the pleasure of meeting some of the families who are supported by Fife Gingerbread when I launched its Gateway project back in May 2013, and I'm delighted to see the organisation extending its reach even further and to develop its innovative approach, and congratulate the group on its award. Now, our aspiration is to make Scotland the best place in the world to grow up, to make Scotland a fairer country for all children to thrive in, a child-friendly country which possesses a culture that is supportive of all parents and carers and which values their crucial and important role. Fife Gingerbread is helping us achieve on this vision. Families need to feel supported, and I think everyone agrees with that and have said so today in their remarks. Not only, though, by our public services, but also by their own families and communities, and many organisations such as Gingerbread play a crucial role in supporting our parents, carers and families right across Scotland. And as I've said, I've seen and heard about the good work that Fife Gingerbread is doing and have seen it firsthand and remain so impressed by the passion and dedication of Fife Gingerbread's team. David Torrance described how they go above and beyond to help the families that they work with. And the quotes that Annabel Ewan mentioned about the caring staff and about the great activities that go on there, and that the teen parenting project is the highlight of the week, speaks volumes about the high regard, the very high regard that this project and Fife Gingerbread are held. Liz Smith, Rod Campbell and Claire Baker also rightly praised the group and the help that they have provided to the 340 families getting the one-to-one service and the important preventative work that this talented Gingerbread staff do. Claire Baker also described how the teen project is an age-appropriate group, and I know from speaking to many teenage parents how sometimes they can feel intimidated about going to some groups. So that's great that they have got an age-appropriate group where they can get the support that they so need. And the fact that so many Fife politicians this evening have talked so passionately about this project shows again how important this facility, this project is right across the region. Now, I welcome this investment in the Teen Parents Project by the Big Lottery, and Claire Baker and others have noted how big an achievement this award has been. Because although parenting can be a wonderful, life-enhancing experience for many young people, it can be a real struggle for others. And as the mother of a very lively wee 3-year-old who has started his first day at nursery school today, I know that being a parent is a great privilege, but can also be a real challenge. And as a government, we recognise without question the importance of ensuring that parents, whatever their age, feel empowered, they feel valued, and that they feel supported and confident in their ability to care for their children. And that's why in October 2012 we published the National Parenting Strategy with over 80 commitments to strengthen and to help and support parents across Scotland. We want parents, carers and families to know that whatever their needs and wherever they live, practical support is available. And this parenting strategy was backed up with £18 million worth of investment to better coordinate information, access to advice and support wherever it is needed. Because good parenting is every child's right and every parent's responsibility, and we want to embed these rights and responsibilities in everyday life. We know that all parents and carers can feel vulnerable and unsure at times, and this feeling of vulnerability can often be felt most by our teenage parents, who can sometimes lack the confidence to seek support. Sometimes these feelings of uncertainty can be easily resolved by good advice, whereas for others the challenges are more complex and longer term. Either way, we want to support all parents, families and communities to build better lives for themselves and their children in order to ensure that every child has the best start in life. And that's why our parenting strategy is so important, and so too our investment in family support. The Fife Gingerbread Teen Project shares the same goals as we do. Its work focuses on giving teenage mothers and fathers the support that they need to establish their parenting skills, while working closely with other services already available within communities to complement and to promote the use of them. This sort of informal but personal support is one of the things teen parents need most in their lives and can really help them to adjust to their new roles. David Torrance spoke about the way the project works in collaboration with those other services and across the third sector, and that collaborative work is paying real dividends for families right across Fife. Unfortunately, though, many young mums and dads face additional stresses and strains in their lives. David Torrance, Mary Fee described issues of poverty and deprivation, and of course that low self-esteem that's so necessary to try and tackle. And Annabel Ewing, of course, described the impact of welfare reform. Stigma, isolation and the lack of age-appropriate information have the potential to disenfranchise many teenage parents, and projects like this one make sure they aren't left alone to face the challenges of caring for their children and help them to be the very best that they can. And I'm pleased to hear from David Torrance about the evaluation of the project, which is enhance the ability of parents to parent well. This project will also complement the very good work of the family nurse partnerships in Fife, which I've also visited and heard about the benefits that this was providing for new young parents. And I very much welcome the recent announcement from the Cabinet Secretary, Alec Neil, that this will be rolled across Scotland to help many more young parents who need a bit of support and advice. And as well as the support for families, our vision for childcare is also an ambitious one. It includes the expansion to a minimum of 600 flexible hours a year for all 3- and 4-year-olds and 2-year-olds who are looked after or under a kinship care order. And these proposals are set out in the Children and Young People Bill that Liz Smith rightly points out is going through its stage 2. And I'm also delighted that this debate follows the debate preceding it, where the First Minister announced a further expansion in the provision for our most vulnerable 2-year-olds. Now, coupled with the proposals already in the Children and Young People Bill, we will be providing childcare for around 15% of 2-year-olds from 2014 and 27% from 2015. And we're also committed to extending the offer of 600 hours of funded early learning and childcare further in the long term, as we set out in Scotland's Future, where we plan to provide 1,140 hours to all children from age 1 to starting school. This is our commitment to build a high-quality universal system for all children, and these commitments will build on the legacy and good work already underway to help support families by our partners across Scotland, including Fife Gingerbread, to help us move towards making Scotland the best place in the world to grow up. So in closing, I would like to thank David Torrance and others who have contributed to tonight's debate. I'm only sorry that David didn't manage to sing tonight, although he's got the offer of a duet, and I look forward to any YouTube evidence that might come from that, and wish Fife Gingerbread Teen Parent Project all the very best for the future, and thank David Torrance again for raising this in the Parliament. Thank you.
Many thanks. And I now close this meeting of Parliament.